The sky over the city was a dull gray, not from weather, but from the smoke rising from dozens of small fires scattered across the skyline. Streets once filled with honking cars and hurried footsteps were now eerily silent. Jacob Lane sat inside the break room of a local construction warehouse, staring at his phone's blank screen. No signal. Again. 2 days ago, everything had seemed normal. He'd gone to work, laughed at a coworker's bad jokes, and stopped by his favorite taco stand on the way home. But that normalcy vanished overnight. Now, buildings stood half-abandoned, stores were looted, and strange screams echoed in the distance long after sundown. Whatever was happening, it was spreading fast. Jacob had always lived a quiet life, avoiding attention, blending into the background. But survival had a cruel way of dragging people into the spotlight. He looked around the room. Metal shelves stacked with tools, a vending machine half broken, and a single door leading to the outside, his only connection to a city slowly falling apart. He wasn't alone. Across from him sat Donna, a forklift operator in her early 40s, wiping sweat from her brow with a trembling hand. "They're saying it's some kind of infection," she whispered, breaking the silence. "My cousin texted me last night. People are changing, attacking others." Jacob nodded, remembering the chaos he saw just hours earlier on the street, a man leaping onto a delivery driver, biting into his shoulder with animalistic rage. It wasn't just sickness. It was transformation. A total loss of humanity. Outside, the sound of a car crash shattered the stillness. Tires screeched, metal crunched, and someone screamed before it was suddenly cut off. Jacob bolted to the window and peeked through the dusty blinds. Down the road, a sedan had slammed into a light pole. The driver's door hung open, but there was no one in sight, until he saw her. A woman in a business suit staggered into the road, clutching her stomach, her skin pale and her eyes lifeless. "She's hurt," Donna said, standing beside him. "No. She's one of them," Jacob muttered. As if on cue, the woman stopped mid-step, lifted her head, and let out a low, guttural growl. Then she ran, straight at another person jogging down the sidewalk, crashing into them with terrifying force. The victim screamed, but the sound turned to gurgles as the creature tore into him. Jacob turned away, swallowing bile. "We can't stay here," he said quickly. "If they're out in the open now, it's only a matter of time." Donna nodded, her eyes glassy. "I've got a car in the lot. If we can make it there." Before she could finish, something slammed against the warehouse door. Once. Then again. Heavy, deliberate thuds that rattled the hinges. Jacob and Donna froze. Then the door handle jiggled. "They're here," she hissed. Jacob grabbed a metal pipe from the shelf and motioned for her to back away. The door creaked as it opened an inch, then two. A hand, gray, bruised, and bloodied, reached inside. Jacob didn't hesitate. He rushed forward and slammed the pipe down on the limb. There was a sickening crunch, followed by a shriek. The hand retracted. Donna rushed to the vending machine, tipping it onto its side with a loud crash. Together, they dragged it in front of the door. "That won't hold them for long," she said breathlessly. "We only need minutes," Jacob replied. "Where are your keys?" "In my locker. Back hall." They moved fast, stepping over fallen tools and discarded lunchboxes. The warehouse, once a place of routine and safety, now felt like a coffin. The door at the end of the hall was cracked open, revealing the locker room beyond. Donna fumbled with the combination lock. Come on," she whispered, her fingers shaking. Jacob kept watch, ears straining for any sound. Then he heard it, shuffling footsteps. Not outside. Inside. "They're in," he said. Donna ripped the locker open and grabbed the keys. "Let's go." They sprinted back through the warehouse, veering toward the emergency exit at the back. As they pushed through, a low growl stopped them in their tracks. 3 figures stood between them and the car lot. Their skin was grayish, their movements jerky and unnatural. One had no lower jaw. Another wore a torn safety vest soaked in dark stains. Jacob stepped in front of Donna, raising his pipe. "We fight, or we die," he said grimly. And with that, the first fight for survival truly began. Jacob gripped the metal pipe tighter, feeling the rough texture dig into his palm. The three infected in front of them let out guttural snarls, their cloudy eyes locking onto him with unsettling focus. There was no fear in their rotting faces, only hunger. "Stay behind me," Jacob murmured to Donna, never taking his eyes off the creatures. The nearest one lunged. Jacob sidestepped, swinging the pipe hard across its head. The blow landed with a sickening crack, knocking the infected sideways. It stumbled but didn't fall. Jacob braced himself. The second one, larger and faster, charged with terrifying speed. It crashed into him, slamming him against a stack of wooden pallets. The pipe flew from his hands. For a split second, all he saw were teeth, cracked lips, and wild, snapping jaws inches from his face. Donna screamed. Adrenaline surged through Jacob's body. He jammed his forearm into the creature's throat, holding it back while groping blindly for anything. His fingers found a broken screwdriver on the ground. With a grunt, he drove it up into the creature's eye. The infected let out a strangled hiss, then went limp. Jacob shoved the body off just in time to see Donna swinging a crowbar she'd grabbed from a shelf. The infected in the safety vest was almost on her, but her swing connected cleanly, dropping it with a single, desperate blow. The third one, the jawless zombie, was getting back up. Jacob retrieved his pipe and stepped forward. He swung with full force, catching the creature in the side of the head. The skull crunched inward. This time, it stayed down. Jacob panted heavily, eyes scanning for movement. "Are you hurt?" Donna shook her head. "No. Are you?" "Not bitten," he replied. "Just bruised." They didn't wait around. Pushing through the back door, they emerged into the car lot. A few broken windows and discarded tools scattered the gravel, but no immediate threats. "Where's your car?" Jacob asked. Donna pointed. "That one, silver pickup. Over there." They rushed to it, Donna fumbling with the keys. The vehicle beeped, and they both jumped at the sudden sound. The noise echoed into the silence like an alarm. A distant groan answered from somewhere nearby. "Get in," she shouted. They dove inside. Donna turned the ignition, and the engine coughed once, twice, then roared to life. Gravel kicked up as she slammed it into reverse and backed out of the lot. "We need to find somewhere safe," she said. "Somewhere with supplies. Shelter. Do you know anyone outside the city?" Jacob asked, scanning the road ahead. "My brother has a cabin out in Hillstone Ridge. It's remote. No cell service, but if we can get there." A loud thud cut her off. Something had landed on the truck bed. Jacob twisted to look out the rear window. An infected man was clawing at the back windshield, face twisted in fury. His hands bled from broken glass. "He must have been hiding under a car," Jacob muttered. "Hold on." He opened the passenger door, unbuckled, and leaned halfway out while holding the frame. The wind hit his face hard, but he didn't flinch. With both hands, he swung the pipe backward, once, twice, until the creature lost its grip and flew from the truck, rolling into the street behind them. Jacob slammed the door shut again, breathing hard. "We can't keep driving blind. We need gas, maps, food." Donna nodded. "There's a convenience store about 6 miles out. If it hasn't been looted." They drove in tense silence, passing empty streets and smoldering wreckage. Here and there, they saw movement, someone crawling, someone screaming in a window, people running. Not everyone had turned, but everyone was desperate. When they reached the store, it looked quiet. One window was shattered, but the door was intact. Donna parked around the side, out of sight from the road. Jacob got out first. "Stay close. In and out, fast." The inside of the store was a mess. Shelves were overturned, snacks trampled, broken bottles staining the floor. But it wasn't empty. A young man stood behind the counter, holding a baseball bat. His eyes widened as they entered. "Whoa, don't come closer," he shouted. "We're not sick," Jacob said calmly. "We just need supplies." The man looked them over. "You're the first people I've seen who aren't trying to eat me." Jacob nodded. "Name's Jacob. This is Donna." "Eli," the man replied. "I barricaded the back door. There's still food and water left. I was hoping someone decent would show up." "Are you alone?" Donna asked. Eli hesitated. "No. My sister. She's in the back. She got scratched yesterday. She's changing." Jacob's heart sank. Donna stepped forward. "We need to see her." "She's still herself," Eli snapped. "For now." Jacob exchanged a look with Donna. They were safe, for the moment. But the danger was already inside. And time was running out. The store fell into silence. Jacob's fingers curled tighter around the pipe, his instincts whispering danger even though Eli looked more scared than threatening. Donna's gaze shifted toward the closed door behind the counter, the one leading to the back room. That's where the sister was. "We don't want to hurt her," Donna said gently, keeping her tone steady. "But we need to know if she's safe to be around." "She's not like them," Eli said quickly, standing in front of the door. "Not yet. She talks. She cries. She's scared, just like us." Jacob took a slow breath, nodding. "But if she turns while we're inside this building, none of us get out." Eli looked torn. "Please, just give me time." Jacob glanced at Donna. "We don't have time." A low moan echoed from behind the door, soft but unnatural. A chill passed through the room. "She's hurting," Eli whispered. "I promised I'd stay with her. I promised I wouldn't let them take her." "We're not here to break promises," Jacob said, lowering the pipe slightly. "We just need food, water, and gas. That's all. Let us get those, and we'll leave you both in peace." Eli hesitated, then stepped aside slowly. "Take what you need. But don't go in there." Donna nodded and headed toward the shelves. Most of the packaged food was gone, but they found a few cans of soup, some bottled water, and a half-full first aid kit. Jacob loaded a plastic bin with supplies while keeping one eye on the counter. As Donna knelt to check beneath a shelf, her elbow knocked over a metal can. It clanged loudly. Behind the counter, the door creaked. All three froze. A hand, pale, twitching, emerged from the opening. Then a face followed. It was a girl, maybe 14, with tangled black hair and gray skin that seemed to sag like melting wax. Her eyes, though, were still human. They brimmed with confusion and terror. "Eli," she whispered. Her voice cracked like dried leaves. Eli rushed to her, placing his hands on her shoulders. "Sarah, it's okay. Stay inside. Please." She blinked at Jacob and Donna. "Who are they?" "Friends," Eli said. "They're just here for supplies. They won't hurt you." Jacob watched carefully. The girl's lips were dry, her hands trembling. But what bothered him most was the shadowy bruising that spread up her neck. The veins were turning black. She was close. Very close. Donna stepped forward gently. "Sarah, can you tell us how you feel?" The girl's eyes flickered toward her. "I'm cold. Everything hurts. I feel itchy inside. And hungry. Not for food. I don't know why." Jacob's gut twisted. That was how it began. "We need to go," he muttered to Donna. "Now." But before they could turn, Sarah lurched forward. It wasn't a full attack, more like a spasm. Her legs gave out, and she dropped to her knees, gasping. Eli caught her. "She's not attacking. She's just weak." Then it happened. Sarah's head snapped back. Her eyes rolled white, and she let out a low, gurgling hiss. Eli backed away in shock as her body twitched violently. A thin stream of black fluid leaked from her mouth. "No, no, Sarah!" Eli cried. Jacob didn't wait. He grabbed Donna and pulled her toward the door. "We can't save her now." Behind them, Sarah let out a shriek, animalistic, inhuman. Eli screamed. Jacob turned briefly and saw the girl pounce, teeth sinking into Eli's shoulder. Blood sprayed across the counter. "Go!" Jacob shouted. They burst through the front entrance just as Eli's cries turned into choking sobs. Then silence. Donna climbed into the driver's seat, shaking. Jacob slammed the truck door shut and gritted his teeth. The infected girl appeared in the window, face bloodied, pounding the glass. She was fully gone now. They pulled away, tires screeching. I should have stopped it," Donna whispered, hands tight on the wheel. "No," Jacob said. "It wasn't ours to stop." They drove in silence for a few miles. The city was behind them now, but danger still surrounded them. Smoke rose in the distance, and roads were littered with abandoned vehicles. The deeper they went, the quieter it became, unnaturally quiet. Finally, Jacob pointed ahead. "See that sign? Hillstone Ridge. 15 miles. Donna exhaled. "We might make it." "Might," Jacob repeated, staring at the road. They didn't speak again until they saw the body. It was lying in the center of the road, someone in hunting gear. He looked untouched. No blood. Just still. Donna slowed down. "Could be a trap," Jacob warned. "Or bait." She nodded. "What do we do?" Jacob reached for the door handle. "We check. Carefully. Because if someone else was out here, they needed to know if friend or foe was still a thing in this world. And whether survival meant mercy, or something much colder." The truck rolled to a cautious stop. Dust hovered in the air, soft as ash, as Jacob stepped out and scanned the area. The body on the road lay perfectly still. Face down, arms stretched to the sides, like he had fallen mid-stride. A hunting rifle was slung across his back, and a backpack rested beneath him. Donna kept the engine running, one foot tapping nervously on the pedal. "Jacob, if it's bait." "I'll find out." He approached slowly, eyes sweeping left and right. Trees lined both sides of the broken road, their shadows long in the afternoon light. It was too quiet again. No birds. No wind. Just the sound of his own footsteps and the low hum of the idling engine behind him. When he reached the body, he crouched. "No bites," he muttered. "No blood." Jacob nudged the shoulder gently with the end of his pipe. No movement. Then, a low creak. Not from the body, from the trees. He stood, weapon ready. Crack. Something snapped, a wire. His eyes darted left. Too late. A rope shot out from the brush, catching his ankle and yanking him off his feet. He crashed to the ground hard, pipe skidding from his grasp. "Jacob!" Donna shouted. He was being dragged backward, fast, into the woods. Leaves tore past his face. He kicked and twisted, trying to break free, but the rope was tight and expertly knotted. Panic surged. Donna jumped out of the truck and grabbed his pipe. She sprinted toward the trees, calling his name. Before she reached him, a voice barked out. "Stop right there." Donna froze. A man stepped from behind a thick oak, bow drawn, arrow pointed directly at her chest. He wore camo gear and a dirt-smeared bandana around his neck. His eyes were sunken but sharp. "I'll let your friend go," the man said, "if you drop that pipe and don't make me regret this." Donna raised her hands. "We're not infected." "Not yet. We just needed to check on that guy in the road." The man nodded. "He's fake. Stuffed coat and boots. He's part of the trap." "Why?" "Because infected don't stop to help strangers. People do." Jacob groaned from the ground behind the man, the rope finally loose from his ankle. Hell of a welcome, he muttered. The man kept the bow train on them another long second, then lowered it. Name's Aaron. I don't take chances anymore. You shouldn't either. Donna helped Jacob up. We're headed to Hillstone Ridge. Aaron scoffed. Everyone's headed to Hillstone Ridge. That's why it's a graveyard now. Jacob's brow furrowed. What do you mean? Aaron slung the bow over his shoulder. Outbreak hit it hard. A week ago. Survivors set up a perimeter, but it didn't hold. Too many infected inside already. By the time the gates closed, it was over. Jacob looked at Donna. Her face had gone pale. So there's no safe zone? She asked quietly. Aaron shook his head. There are camps here and there. But none of them last. Best you can hope for is to stay moving, keep low, and not trust anyone for too long. You live out here? Jacob asked. Move camp every few days, Aaron replied. I hunt, trap, stay ahead of the packs. Alone? Donna asked. Aaron's gaze shifted. Used to have someone. She didn't make it. A silence hung between them. Jacob finally said, We have a truck. Food. Some supplies. We could travel together, for a bit. Aaron studied them both. You clean? Donna lifted her sleeves. No bites. No fever. He nodded slowly. All right. I know a place we can stop for the night. An old ranger station about 4 miles west. Still got a roof and a lock on the door. They returned to the truck together, Aaron climbing into the back with his gear. As they drove, he pointed out side roads and detours, avoiding areas he claimed were overrun by screamers. Donna didn't ask what that meant. She didn't want to know. The sun began to dip behind the hills, and the forest thickened. They turned down an overgrown trail, bouncing over roots and rocks until the trees parted to reveal a squat, windowless building of concrete and rusting metal. The ranger station. Used to monitor fires from here, Aaron explained as they climbed out. Now it's a ghost post. Jacob checked the perimeter. No signs of entry. No tracks in the dried mud. Donna unlocked the door with a push from her shoulder, and they stepped inside. It smelled of dust and old oil. But it was dry. Safe. For now. Aaron sat near the window, scanning the tree line. Tomorrow, we head toward the old train yard. If we're lucky, there's fuel. Maybe a radio. Jacob nodded, but his eyes stayed fixed on Aaron. He still wasn't sure if they had gained an ally, or just invited the wrong man into their last piece of safety. Jacob lay awake on the ranger station floor, staring up at the cracked ceiling as moonlight filtered through the broken slats. The air was still and cold. Every creak of the old building made his heart pound a little faster. Donna was curled up against the wall nearby, finally asleep. Aaron sat near the door, bow in hand, keeping first watch. Jacob didn't trust the quiet. He turned toward Aaron. See anything? Aaron didn't look back. Not yet. But the forest's too quiet tonight. That usually means they're moving. They? The screamers. Jacob frowned. You mentioned them earlier. What are they? Aaron glanced over his shoulder. Zombies that don't shut up. The virus warped their lungs, made them shriek like dying animals. They don't sneak. They lure. Lure? Aaron nodded. One screamer makes noise, the others follow. Then the herd shows up. If you hear one, don't wait. Jacob's skin crawled. He sat up. Maybe we shouldn't stay long. Aaron didn't disagree. We move at dawn. The wind picked up outside. A faint rustling. Then something else, a low whine. Not a scream. Not a growl. A soft, slow sob. Donna stirred. You hear that? All three were listening now. It came from just outside the station. A woman's voice. Help, please. Jacob moved toward the door, but Aaron held up a hand sharply. No. But what if it's... It's not. The voice again, broken and desperate. Help me. Donna looked shaken. It sounds real. That's what it wants, Aaron whispered. It mimics. Some of them can. You go out there, and you don't come back. Jacob hesitated, fists clenched. Every instinct screamed at him to check, to do something. But Aaron's warning chilled him deeper than the voice ever could. The crying stopped. They stayed silent for the next hour. Waiting. Listening. When the first light of dawn touched the treetops, Aaron motioned for them to move. Outside, the ground was disturbed. Strange tracks circled the building, bare feet, too small to belong to an adult, and far too many to count. At least a dozen had moved in the dark. Aaron kicked the dirt. They know we're here now. Donna looked sick. What were they doing? Hunting, Aaron muttered. They piled into the truck and drove in tense silence toward the train yard. The road was mostly clear. Aaron guided them down side trails and through a narrow gorge filled with fallen logs, finally emerging near rusted tracks and old warehouses. The train yard was a metal graveyard. Freight cars sat abandoned in long lines, doors open and swinging in the wind. Jacob parked behind a wall of containers, and they got out to scout. They moved slowly, weapons ready. The yard was eerily silent. Inside one of the cars, they found what looked like a makeshift camp, bedrolls, old cans of food, and a broken CB radio. Donna leaned over it. Can it be fixed? Aaron inspected the wires. Maybe. With the right tools. We'll need to come back. Jacob lifted a tarp from the corner and stepped back with a gasp. Beneath it lay a man, pale, stiff, unmoving. He's not turned, Jacob said. He just died. Aaron nodded. Probably dehydration or infection. People forget it's not just zombies out here that kill. Donna found a journal tucked in the man's coat. She flipped through the pages. He was traveling with 3 others. Lost 2 to an ambush. Said something about a screamer nest up in the northern tunnels. Aaron cursed. Tunnels are suicide. Too dark. Too easy to get cornered. They continued searching the yard. In a locked shed, they found 2 full gas cans and an emergency toolkit. Donna grinned. We'll be able to keep moving for a while with this. But as Jacob stepped out of the shed, he paused. Something felt off. The air shifted. A sound, dry, sharp breathing. Then a screech shattered the silence. From the far end of the yard, a figure limped into view. Pale-skinned, with a jaw twisted too wide, it opened its mouth and let out another horrific scream, unnatural and piercing. Screamer! Aaron shouted. The noise echoed across the metal containers. More shadows appeared between the cars. Too many. Run! Jacob yelled. They dashed back toward the truck, footsteps thudding on concrete and steel. The screamers didn't chase with speed, they followed with relentless persistence, shrieking and drawing others from the woods beyond the fence. Aaron turned and loosed an arrow, striking the first in the chest. It stumbled but didn't fall. Jacob floored the gas as soon as they jumped in, tires skidding in the gravel. The screamers poured into the yard like floodwaters. They're not just wandering anymore, Donna whispered, heart racing. They're organizing. Aaron nodded grimly. Something's changed. As they sped away, Jacob looked back one last time. The screamers stood in a line. Watching. Waiting. Like they knew they'd be back. The truck roared down the cracked highway, leaving behind the rusted train yard and the horde of screamers that had nearly ended their lives. Jacob's knuckles were white on the steering wheel. No one spoke. The silence was filled only by the engine's growl and the echoes of those unnatural screams ringing in their heads. Donna finally broke the silence. They didn't chase us far. They didn't have to, Aaron muttered. They wanted us to see them. Like they knew where we'd go next. Jacob swallowed hard. What does that mean? Aaron looked grim. It means they're learning. Watching. Waiting for patterns. They pulled off the road near an old ranger checkpoint that had long since been abandoned. The sun was sinking behind the hills, and a cold wind stirred the trees. As Jacob shut off the engine, Donna unfolded the dead man's journal they had found in the train car. He mentioned a comm station north of here, buried under the mountain, near the old service tunnels, she said. Said it had a working radio, but the path there goes through what he called the nest. Jacob leaned forward. If it's a real signal station, we could call for rescue. Or warn others, Donna added. Aaron rubbed his temples. Or we could walk straight into the heart of a zombie hive. They argued for a while, the fire crackling beside them in a metal barrel they'd dragged from a wreck. In the end, desperation won. They needed information. Contact. Hope. We go at first light, Jacob said. We stick together. We move fast. The next morning, they followed the dirt road up into the foothills, where nature had long since started to reclaim the world. Vines curled over guardrails. Trees broke through cracked pavement. The further they walked, the more signs they saw: bones, scattered clothing, drag marks leading off into the woods. Finally, they found the tunnel. The entrance loomed like a gaping mouth. A rusted train car had derailed half in and half out of it, blocking most of the path. Faded signs read: Service access, restricted entry. Emergency evac route 3B. Aaron pulled out a flashlight and tested it. The beam cut through the dark like a blade. This is a bad idea, he muttered, but they all stepped in. Inside, the air was thick and damp. The concrete walls dripped with condensation. As their footsteps echoed, Jacob felt the pressure of the mountain above them. The tunnel wasn't just long, it twisted. Narrowed. Split. It had been meant as an emergency route for workers, not the public. They moved carefully, eyes darting between shadows. Rats skittered along the edges, but otherwise, there was no sound. Until Donna stopped. Do you hear that? Jacob paused. A low chittering sound, like claws tapping on stone. Back wall, Aaron whispered. Something's moving up there. Suddenly, a figure dashed across the corridor ahead, so fast it was a blur. They froze. Then another. And another. Not screamers. These were quiet. Quick. Their skin stretched thin over wiry frames. Their eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Jacob turned his flashlight toward a ventilation shaft above, and saw dozens of them, crouched along the metal grates like spiders. Donna gasped. They're nesting in the ceilings. The creatures hissed, sensitive to the light. Aaron loosed an arrow, striking one. It screeched, and the others erupted from the vents. Run! Jacob shouted. They sprinted down the corridor, turning sharply through narrow hallways. The creatures gave chase, bounding along walls and leaping from pipes. One landed on Jacob's back. He slammed it into the wall, but its claws tore through his jacket before it fell limp. Donna reached a security door and shoved it open. In here! They scrambled inside and slammed it shut. Aaron jammed a metal bar through the handle just as the first creature slammed against it. The door held, for now. Breathing hard, Jacob looked around. They were inside some kind of control room. Monitors lined the walls. Most were dark. But one, just one, blinked softly. A green indicator light. Donna approached the console. Her voice trembled. It's active. There's power here. Aaron peered over her shoulder. Can you send a signal? I can try. While Donna worked, Jacob scanned the room. It had been a military communications outpost, judging by the faded map of the region and old emergency directives on the wall. Dust covered most surfaces, but someone had been here recently. Food wrappers. An empty canteen. Aaron tapped his shoulder. We're not alone. From the hallway came a new sound. Not the chittering of the creatures. A voice. Human. Open the door, please, we're survivors. Jacob exchanged a look with Aaron. The voice was calm, clear, too calm. Aaron whispered, could be real. Or another mimic, Jacob said, remembering the night outside the station. The voice came again. Please, we just need help. The choice was theirs. Open the door, and possibly save another soul, or fall for the oldest trick in the apocalypse. The voice behind the door sounded too calm. Too measured. Please, open up. We're unarmed. We're human. Jacob kept his shotgun steady on the door. Donna hesitated at the control panel, hand hovering over the lock button. Aaron whispered, don't. It's bait. You saw what happened at the ranger station. But what if it's real? Donna replied, eyes pleading. If someone had left us out there. Jacob's voice was low. We don't even know what those things are capable of anymore. From behind the door came another voice, this one trembling, clearly younger. We have a kid with us, please, don't leave us here. Donna clenched her jaw. Her fingers trembled above the switch. Then Jacob made the call. Back up. If we open it, we do it on our terms. He positioned himself behind a steel desk, while Aaron readied his bow from the side. Donna tapped the panel. The lock hissed. The door creaked open an inch. Stop right there. Jacob shouted. Two figures stepped into the light. A man, maybe 30, holding up empty hands, and a teenage girl no older than 15. Both looked tired, dirty, human. Their eyes darted across the room nervously. The man spoke first. Name's Reese. This is my niece, Kayla. We got trapped in a side shaft when those things moved in. We've been dodging them for 2 days. Jacob kept his gun up. Why are you still alive? Reese glanced at the shotgun. Because I don't yell or run. And I know how to stay quiet. Aaron studied them. He didn't lower his bow. Prove you're not infected. Reese raised his sleeve, no bites. No strange marks. Kayla did the same, her arms shaking. Donna sighed with relief. They're clean. Still, Aaron didn't look convinced. Let them sit. Don't give them weapons. They sat near the door, clearly exhausted. Kayla's eyes were wide with fear. Reese kept scanning the walls like he expected the ceiling to drop on him. We found a working console, Donna said. I'm trying to reach someone outside. Do you know who set this place up? Reese nodded. Military did. Years ago. Back when the first outbreaks hit in isolated towns. This was a fallback point. Radio station, supply dump, and last resort bunker. Aaron raised an eyebrow. Then where's everyone else? Reese's voice dropped. Gone. Pulled out months ago. Anyone left behind was assumed compromised. Jacob asked, you knew about this place. So why didn't you try to contact anyone? I did, Reese said. But no one's answering anymore. Signals go out. Nothing comes back. Donna tapped the console, frustration creeping into her voice. There's power, but the antenna must be damaged or blocked. If we climb the maintenance ladder in the next shaft, we could realign it. Aaron shook his head. That's suicide. We just saw a swarm down there. We don't have a choice, Donna insisted. If we can get a message out, it might be the last chance. Jacob considered it. We go together. Fast. Quiet. Climb up, fix the signal, and get out. Reese added, there's a vent system that bypasses the main corridor. It's tight, but it leads to the maintenance hatch. That's how we've been moving. They geared up, grabbing flashlights, weapons, and whatever tools Donna needed for the antenna. Kayla stayed behind in the control room, sealed in. Donna gave her a walkie-talkie. If you hear anything outside that door, call us. And don't open it for anyone. Kayla nodded, eyes wide. They crawled into the ventilation system, Jacob first, then Donna, Reese, and Aaron last. The vents were narrow and claustrophobic, forcing them to shuffle on hands and knees. The metal creaked beneath their weight, and every sound echoed like thunder. Halfway through, Reese whispered, "We're almost at the ladder chamber." That's when they heard it. A soft scraping. From behind them. Jacob froze. Something's in the vent. Aaron turned his flashlight, but the beam caught nothing. The sound came again. Then a shriek, deafening and high-pitched. "They followed us." Donna cried. Reese shouted, "Go, go, go!" They scrambled forward as a pale, spidery figure burst into the vent behind them. It moved too fast, shrieking with rage. Jacob kicked backward, catching it in the face with his boot. It shrieked louder. They reached the ladder shaft and dropped down. Jacob landed hard, twisting his ankle, but kept moving. Reese slammed the vent closed behind them and jammed it with a crowbar. The creature clawed at the metal above, furious. Donna climbed the ladder, wrench in hand. At the top, she emerged into a dark maintenance room, where shattered glass and a twisted antenna awaited. "I can fix it," she said. "But I need a few minutes." "Make them count," Aaron said, watching the vent as it bulged inward with every impact. Outside, the horde was coming. And underground. Kayla's voice crackled through the radio. "There's someone else at the door. Let me know when you're ready for Part 8, final, 795 words, where secrets are revealed, and the survivor must decide what kind of future, if any, is worth saving. Part 8, the last broadcast." Kayla's voice trembled through the radio. "There's someone else at the door." Jacob froze. Aaron snatched the walkie-talkie. "Kayla, listen to me. Don't open it. Just stay quiet." She whispered, "They're not speaking. Just standing. Scratching the door." Reese clenched his fists. "We should have never left her alone." "No," Jacob snapped. "We did what we had to. If Donna gets that antenna fixed, it'll all be worth it." Above them, Donna worked fast. She stood at the base of the broken antenna, tools spread around her. Wind howled through the shattered access hatch in the ceiling. The mount was bent, wires torn free, but not beyond repair. Her fingers moved fast, mind racing. From below, the sound of metal groaned again. Something had made it through the ventilation system. Jacob loaded his shotgun. Aaron knocked an arrow. "By her time," Jacob said. The door to the ladder shaft burst open. A creature lunged inside, thin, pale, and furious. Aaron fired, arrow through the eye. It dropped. Another followed. Jacob blasted it backward with the shotgun. Reese looked at them both. "If I don't make it, get her out. Promise me." Aaron gave a tight nod. "We don't leave kids behind." Up above, Donna twisted the final wire into place and pressed the manual override button. A low hum pulsed through the floor as the antenna adjusted with a loud whir. Lights flickered green across the console. Signal active. She grabbed the headset, heart pounding. "This is Donna McRae. Survivors at Station E3. Repeat, this is Station E3. We are alive and broadcasting. Anyone out there, please respond." Silence. Then, static. Then, "Copy, faint signal, identify location." Donna's eyes went wide. "We're 30 miles north of Oak Hollow, underground relay station E3. We have wounded. We've got a child. We need help." More static. "Rescue en route, hold position, avoid surface exposure. ETA 48 hours. She grinned. For the first time in weeks, there was hope. She grabbed the radio and rushed back toward the ladder, only to hear gunfire echoing below. Jacob had taken a slash across the shoulder. Aaron had dropped to one knee, reloading. 3 more creatures flooded into the chamber. Reese fought them with a crowbar, snarling, striking, defending. Donna slid down the ladder. Signals out. Help is coming. We just need to hold. Jacob shouted, blasting again. But it was clear they were overwhelmed. Reese turned to them. I'll hold this hallway. You get Kayla and run. Aaron yelled, no way. Reese shoved him back. Go! He turned and charged the oncoming swarm, swinging the crowbar like a madman, giving everything he had. Jacob and Donna dragged Aaron down the corridor. Blood streaked the floor behind them. They reached the control room and found Kayla hiding behind a desk, eyes wide. Jacob looked at the sealed door. There were handprints on the glass now. Long, gray, inhuman. He spoke gently. We're getting out of here. You're not alone. They moved fast, retracing their steps, using the backup tunnel Reese had mentioned earlier. It was narrower, older, but untouched by the swarm. The map in the control room had marked it as Exit C, surface access, emergency use only. At the far end, a sealed hatch groaned as Jacob cranked the manual override. It opened to the gray light of dawn. They emerged on a ridge above the valley, wind rushing over them, cold and sharp. Behind them, the facility sat quiet again. Hidden. Buried. Aaron sat down heavily, bleeding but alive. Kayla clung to Donna's side, her voice small. Is Uncle Reese? Jacob didn't answer. Instead, he placed a hand on her shoulder. He saved us. They set up a fire from nearby debris and used scraps of metal to create a signal marker. The radio crackled once more. Rescue in progress, remain in place, survivors identified. Donna looked up at the rising sun. They heard us. Aaron smirked, weakly. Took the end of the world to finally get good reception. They all chuckled, tired, wounded, grieving, but still alive. Donna took out the journal they'd found in the train car. She flipped to the last page. Blank. She began to write. We survived because we chose to trust. To fight. To believe there was still a reason to speak, to reach out. If anyone finds this, know that civilization didn't just crumble. It fought. It bled. And somewhere, beneath the ashes, it still breathes. End of story. When civilization crumbled, how one survivor faced the zombie outbreak. Zombies audiobooks. Let me know when you're ready for the next title. I'm always ready to write the next thrilling 8-part zombie versus human fight story for you.